Hello anybody and welcome back to Let's Play Super Mario Land. I'm Mr. Devious, or just Deeb, and in today's episode, we are going to be finishing up Mario Land. In the last episode, we actually did the first two worlds, and in today's episode, we're going to be doing the last two worlds, because Super Mario Land is tiny, so we only have 6 levels left to do after doing 6 levels in the previous episode. Now, I just ducked out of the way of that area, and this is a mean bonus area that has spikes. Why would they have spikes? That's mean. But that's fine. It's pretty easy to get over. Anyway, the third world of the game introduces a lot of Moai-type enemies, a lot of Moai heads. It's like we're on Easter Island or something, jumping heads. And for some reason, this is more in Konami games than, say, Mario games. Actually, I think this is the only Mario games with Moai heads, but in particular the Gradius? You know, the most popular space shoot-'em-up game. Moais feature prominently. I'm not sure what the fascination in the game development industry is with the Moais, or if that's like a cultural thing in Japan, but I have no idea. Anyway, these aren't bullet bills. These are bullet biffs. Biffs, that's right. I guess they're gonna go beat up Marty and take his... I don't know. Well, maybe they should make like a tree and get out of here. Well... like the one Moai head was when he was charging away really excitedly. I'm gonna shut up before I mangle this non-joke even further than I already have. Anyway, we got some difficult platforming getting in the works now, in that we're moving from these island to island, I guess. Now, the question is this operates under Super Mario Brothers, the first game physics, where if you get a star, or if you get knocked down to Small Mario and grab a flower, you only get put up to Super Mario. That is to say, it's like it acts as a +1 to your state, rather than directly putting you at a a super flower. So, to sum all that up, all that garbage I said up, if you get a flower while you're small in this game, you'll just become big, and you don't get your balls like you need. Anyway, just gonna dance on these bouncing rocks. When I was younger, these always seemed to pose some kind of dangerous threat, but they're really not that tough to jump on if you have some sense of timing. And here you gotta kinda do that, even though it feels like they kinda trick you with another rock to come after it, but you have time. Oh god, I'm actually running out of time because I let the timer go down a bit before I started recording this video. The good news is, though, I'm almost at the end, so timer's never really an issue in Super Mario Land. You almost always have. I don't think I've heard the speed up time, hurry up music in a long, long time. I don't know if I've ever even actually heard it, and that's not me bragging about me being good. That's just the game gives you more than enough time for pretty much every level in the game. Now, as you can see, this bonus game ends up giving you a ton of lives, like more than you can possibly know what to do with, and this level introduces spiders! And I hate spiders, as some of you may know. However, these spiders are more doofy than anything, so you just stomp on them and they're gone. They're kind of like thwomps, actually, stompable thwomps, and that's where they that's their whole shtick. But was Mario Land... yeah. Mario Land actually came after Super Mario Bros. 3, so I can see how people who picked this up for the first time thought that this would be a severe downgrade in the quality, and I talked about this bit in the last episode, but the thing that a lot of people didn't really realize at the time, because, well, when you're a kid, you don't really think about it that much, the Game Boy was new, and developers were just starting to get used to the hardware for the first time, and once they did learn how to use the hardware, you get a lot more high-quality titles, particularly in Super Mario Land 2, the sequel to this game, and then the sequel to that game, Wario Land, in which every game is just a step up in quality of just visual and just even gameplay. Like, a lot of people love Super Mario Land 2, but Mario Land 1, while a lot of people like it, a lot of people are just kind of indifferent to it. And I can see why, again, because there's really not a lot of content. And back in the 90s, when a Game Boy game probably cost like $35, when I was growing up, if I got a game and I beat it too quickly, you couldn't tell your parents because they just spent like all that money on you and then you're done with the game. No, you had to wring all the content you could out of a game, even if that meant just playing it over and over again. Alternatively, you know, it was the only game you had, so you made the most of it, and that was also the case for me a lot of the time. I never actually owned Mario Land, though. I used to play it at a friend's all the time, so that was a bonus for me, and I got all the content I wanted out of it, although I did purchase it recently on the eShop from, like, for the 3DS, and I screwed that up. But it's about $5, no, $4 on the eShop. It's not very much. Although, granted, you get much bigger games on Steam when there's a Steam sale, so there's that. Anyway, this area is really creepy because we're out of the cavernous area, but we still have the ruins music, despite being in this creepy, Moai area. Now, Mario controls a little strange in the air. He can change his momentum from kind of fast to quick, and here we come to a massive area of just payload. Look at all these coins. This was back in the era when it actually felt exciting to get coins in a Mario game, and they weren't really all as redundant as they felt in modern Mario games. I mean, the point of New Super Mario Bros. 2 was the whole coin hoarding thing, and that was fun where it was most effective, but it quickly kind of wore out its welcome, and building a whole game around it, it kind of got a little old, especially when you consider that the reward for getting 1,000,000 coins, which was like touted as this is the big overarching goal, was an alternate title screen. So yeah, I'm sorry if I spoiled that for anybody who really wanted to know, but or who wanted to find out on their own, but you're not missing anything, I'm sorry to say. May as well save you the trouble. Bye-bye. Now, I don't think this puts us back this far. Again, Mario Land is so small that there's no real reason to cut most of the time. This is what we need the 12 lives for. We got some tricky platforming, of course, coming towards the end of this world. And this shouldn't be so hard. Okay, there we go. You just need to take your fingers off, or your thumbs off the arrow keys. I mean, the directional pad after you land. Otherwise, you're going to kind of jerk around. And you gotta be in control of your senses. Oh, hey, these guys know how to run back and forth between the same spot. And now they're dead. And now he's, boulders. If you check these boulders, of course, you get a health. And with a health, we are getting close to the end of this level, where we got these strange Moai altars still in our path, and they're still goofy as heck. And here we come to the boss of this level, Chuckin' Moai Joe. I don't know, I'm just made, and I died. Fantastic. However, the game starts us off very close and actually gives us a mushroom for which we can use against the boss. So that's pretty nice. Now, in classic Mario fashion, if you can take a hit, you can actually... Well, in classic Mario fashion, if you get the mushroom and you just charge straight on through the boss, you can take the hit and just end the fight. However, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it the proper way. Even with good controls, this is probably the hardest boss in the game, in my opinion, just for this At least I'm putting those extra lives to work! Ah, damn it, I didn't mean to do that, but I'll take it, because I'm not gonna fall in the pit again. However, I did do that the wimpy way, and I do kind of feel bad about that. If you do have the Super Balls, though, you can pelt him with fire until he dies, but that's not what we did here. And of course, we open the door, and perhaps this is where Tatanga has hidden the Princess Daisy. And she thanks us. It looks like she has a little mustache. Oh, Daisy, you're a spider! That's disgusting! I like how Mario is a good enough sport to just let the enemy leave. Maybe he's just in complete disbelief. Small Mario kinda has a Hitler mustache. Now I'm uncomfortable. Anyway, now we come to China. I think this is China, anyway. Anyway, in that first pipe, if you go down it, of course, there's coin bonus. And I'm sorry that I just immediately cut away. I didn't actually think that pipe would take me to a bonus. But, of course, as you can see, this is the most very blatantly... There we go. Very blatantly Eastern-styled world in the game. We got bamboo shoots in the background. I think those are bamboo based on their design. And we got... I don't want to say Oriental, because Oriental is just not the right word. If you've taken courses on this sort of thing, and I'm not even going to try and touch on this very much, but Oriental is basically what the West makes of the East, if that makes any sense. That's the West's view on the East, rather than the actual East, and nobody wants to be ignorant. So you want to avoid these. I think these are vampires. These are the very Japanese or Chinese? I think these are the Chinese jumping vampires, or hopping zombies. I used to think they were ninjas, but they aren't. If this doesn't have a I was gonna say if that didn't have a flower, I'd feel like a total idiot. So now I feel like a total idiot. But yeah, these guys, as you can see, when you stomp them, they come back to life, so they're pretty tricky enemies, if they can corner you anyway. However, they do give you points. I'm not sure if those points are infinite or not. It probably are. I mean, that's how it usually... And now I took a hit. I don't think in this game you can chain enemies and get one-ups off jumping. The jumping controls just... You don't get as much air from jumping off enemies' heads as you do in most other Mario games. That's about it. You just do like a stupid little hop, and that doesn't really take you anywhere. Anyway, if you do get a flower, you can actually beat these guys up, so that's cool. Of course, we got more lifts going through the sky. I'm not much a fan of platformers that get to parts where it's just platforms floating in the sky. I like my worlds to make at least a little bit of sense in their construction, but I digress. We are going through this garden, I guess, of piranha plants, and there we go. Now we got ourselves a fur flu, of course. Lets us shoot these enemies as they have always let us done it. I don't know why this is suddenly new information, because it's not, and you can ignore me on that regard. Why are you still here? Thank you for watching. Please don't leave. And I died. Great. The good news is, though, of course, this game is actually pretty generous with checkpoints, and there we go. We're almost at the end of this level. We just got to get past some difficult platforming. It's about the hardest in the game that you're going to get here. This game actually does have an expert mode, like a hard mode, if you beat the game. Again, traditional to Super Mario Bros., and another trend that they carried over here. Now, we're going to kill some Koopas, and you can kill a lot of enemies just by kind of scrolling them off the screen. Of course, you don't get points for that, but then, well, nobody really plays Mario for the points, unless it's like a no-point run. And those are generally more interesting than maximum point runs, because no-point runs require you to not get anything, to avoid enemies and be a pacifist, and it's just funny. But yeah, as you can see, you can kill these guys with fireballs, and that's how you defeat vampires and zombies, with fire. Obviously, we got like a little salvo of bullet bills up there, and you just run across these little blocks, and that brings us to the end of the level. I'm surprised those bullet bills didn't explode, but again, this isn't modern Mario, this is just Mario Land on the Game Boy. Now, we don't really need any, and of course we get the 1 life when we aimed for the 3 life. Oh well. Now we come to an area with, I think that might be lava, but I have no idea, because of course, well, it's impossible to tell when you only have 2 colors, or 3 colors, or 4 colors? Was the Game Boy 4-bit? I think it was 4-bit. And that's the reason why, of course, we have hearts instead of 1-ups, because we can't differentiate between the 2 mushrooms, so that's that for you. And here we are! You can stomp on those plants, interesting. Snake! That snake is laughing at me, and now he's going to die when I get... Oh, he's gone. If, of course, you have a mushroom, you can go up here. This game is nice with some alternate paths that you can only take if you're a certain size. Of course, the path up there is much more attractive than this path, but where you just kind of have to stop and go. And I'm not a fan of that kind of design in games either, where they just kind of have you stopping and going and just waiting around. It's not a favorite of mine. It's not even a like of mine, because you just wait for it to go, and then you get out of there. And, of course, I did not mean to do that. Of course, it is worth it to kind of skip past that part because it is a little bit slow, even though I actually got through it pretty quickly. And here we come to this area with these weird black blocks, which I never considered before up until recent years, and I guess it's supposed to invoke feelings of a castle, of invading a fortress, especially with these Rotodisc type enemies, like the Rotodisc, the Waffles from Super Mario Bros. 3, and the star falls off the screen instead of bouncing. That's just great. Oh well, it doesn't have much use. The good news is, it does start us here, which I think is actually where we were, but... Dang it! That is some ROM hack bullcrap, right? That was just me being bad. Okay, so we're gonna get our mushroom and we're gonna continue on our way. We're gonna keep platforming through this area. This area, when I was younger, used to take the most lives from me because there's a lot of difficult jumps and there's a lot of enemies in just dangerous placement that are just not conducive to having a good time. Anyway, and we jump there and there. And of course, that snake killed us because we were careless. And by we, I mean me. I don't know why I wasn't able to jump up there. I guess I wasn't depressing the button hard enough. Anyway, we are going to get through here, and this time maybe we can even not take a hit. So of course, the thing about these snakes is even though they are dangerous, they only shoot in the one direction. They don't actually aim at you when they fire, so that's nice. And sometimes the peaceful path is the better one, but yeah, the snakes have preset firing areas. I never noticed how harsh some of these jumps are, but that's okay because it gives us a checkpoint there anyway. I forgot this game was very generous with checkpoints, but I guess it is, and we're down to 3 lives, so I guess we did need some of those lives that we got that I said we didn't need, but so well. So we come to the last little bonus jump area in the game, and I think I only missed one overall as a result of all that. Anywho, we're gonna wait for the timer to run out, and we have so many points. And on this one, I think I'm actually gonna go for the fire flower. Not that it matters whether we're big or have a fire flower, because for the last level in the game, we're in the sky. Mario in the sky with a gun, shooting chickens. Mr. Devious, chickens can't fly. Well, that's the name of the enemies in this game for some reason. That is what these guys are called. Maybe they were being funny because, you know, chickens can't fly. But I guess maybe in Sarasa Land they can. Also, you know, we're shooting birds. Also bombers. Everybody is out for Mario's blood. What did he do? Nothing, as far as I can tell. Well, it's a good thing that we got that thing because it looks like the game is being very, very... there we go. Stingy with the power-ups. I don't remember this section having that much trouble. And there we have an extra life, and we're dodging between a lot of crap. This is definitely, as far as shmups go, this is what you get in, like, the second level or something. This isn't hard, per se, for a shooter game, but for Mario, it's unexpected, and that can probably throw off a lot of players their first time. And this can probably look chaotic to a lot of people who aren't familiar with shooters. And to be honest, when I don't really play shmups all that much myself, and I'm not very good at them, and hence I take a lot of hits. So we're getting through the sky, and we're getting past most of these enemies, and we're almost, I wouldn't say we're almost at the end, but we're almost through the worst of it. And now we enter Tatanga's fortress. I think this is Tatanga's fortress, and we're gonna steal all of his money that he put in the front door, because why the hell not? And we wait. You actually want to push yourself to the front here because of that little loop. Because if you get crushed here, you instantly die. Because Mario has to perpetually be going forward. And I guess the fact that he's flying a plane might explain that, but then he wouldn't have 8 directional movements, so that's silly. Of course, we have some of those, and we just shoot some things out of our way. There's really not much left in our path now that we're almost at the end. We got fists. Fists. 5 fists. And here we come to the ultimate enemy, a cloud that shoots chickens at us. Yes. Our final boss. Tatanga's final warrior, because he is too chicken to fight him ourselves. So I guess we're gonna shoot down this stupid cloud and be done with the game. Because as you can see, unlike the other bosses in this game, there is no button that you just press and end the fight on. Because that's just how it goes. However, we are a small Mario, unfortunately, so this could get ugly very quickly. However, and we got him. I lied! There's Tatanga! And as far as final bosses go, this is the final boss, of course. This is actually pretty fun, dodging between all these bullets. They're not hard to dodge, but it does feel really fast-paced and a lot of fun. All you gotta do is kind of move between the shots so you can stay in line with Tatanga and shoot him, and you just perpetually pepper him with bullets, and eventually, he'll go down. And that is the end of Mario Land.
Oh, Daisy, Daisy. Thank you, Mario.
Well, actually, Daisy, that's Peach's voice. Daisy would probably be more like, "Thank you, Mario!" And your quest is over. Now we start walking through this hallway, and of course, a joke a lot of people like to make, and it's not so much a joke as just a statement of fact. If this jet was here the whole time, why didn't Daisy fly out of here herself? Oh well. My friends, I give to you the end of Super Mario Land and the credits. There is, yeah, I was right, the producer is Gunpei Yokoi, the inventor of the Game Boy, so that's really cool. He had an interesting life. He had a very interesting role in Nintendo. He gave a lot. He was the one who gave us Wario, and he was the one who gave us Metroid, so he did a lot for Nintendo, and he was the one who gave Mario a shot here. And Mario Land, I think, well, of course, you should never pay $35 for Mario Land nowadays, especially with its super short length, but I think for like $3-4 on the eShop, I think that's worth it, especially since it's so short. You can just play it all the way through when you just need a quick 10-minute, 15-minute distraction, and it's done, and it's fun. It's fun to just kind of breeze through it really quickly. The enemies are a little weird, and the graphics are especially blocky, even in comparison to Super Mario Bros. 1, but, you know, I think it has its own personal little charm, and even though I prefer Super Mario Land 2 and Wario Land, and basically almost every other mainstream Mario game, it doesn't mean I don't like this one. I like what this one has to provide, and I think it carves out its own little niche in these tiny Mario games. I mean, it has more variety than Super Mario Bros. That basically use the same levels over and over again, but, well, maybe I'm just full of crap. Anyway, that is the end of the game, and I think I'm not going to show off expert mode or any of the hard modes or anything, so I think I'm going to just end the game there. So, thank you for watching Super Mario Land, and next LP will be somewhere close. I hope it will be soon. It's going to be exciting, though, and it's going to be a Super Nintendo game, and it's going to be a fun one, so I hope to see somebody then. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you then. Bye-bye!